What's up, NBA fans? It's Nic Rohloff here at NBA Now. The lottery just concluded, which means we have the full NBA draft order set. It was absolute chaos in Brooklyn. Picks were flying left and right. We had some stunning developments in the NBA draft, and here is the full results of the lottery. The Blazers end up with 14. That pick is being traded from the Golden State Warriors. Kings 13, Thunder 12, Bulls at 11. Those four were standard. That was what was expected. But then once we got into the top 10, it got nuts. The Jazz at 10 weren't anticipated to be picking here. They were expected to be in the top 8, but it is end up 10. The Grizzlies, who had the 6th best odds, fall to 9. The Spurs pick up another first-round pick because the pick was originally the Toronto Raptors. If it stayed inside the top 6, Toronto would have made their selection. But they fall to 8, which means it's going to San Antonio. So they pick up a second first-round pick in the top 10. The Blazers had the 4th best odds. They fell to 7. Charlotte had the 3rd best odds. They fell down to 6. The Pistons had the number 1 odds to get the first overall pick at 14%. They shared it with Washington. They slide all the way down to number 5, which allowed the Spurs to go from 5 to 4, the Rockets to jump from 9 to 3, which was actually originally the Brooklyn Nets pick, by the way. They got to be sick about that James Harden trade. The Wizards stay at their expected slot at number 2. And then the Hawks, the stunner, 3% chance. They were anticipated to get the number 10 pick. They end up with number 1, and now they can fast-track a rebuild with Trae Young, without Trae Young. Either way, Landry Fields and that front office in Atlanta is going to have a lot of fun in the next 2 months. And as we get into this NBA mock draft post-lottery, I want to know who you think the best NBA player or is going to be the best player in this draft class. My money's on Alex Sarr, the forward/center out of Australia who played at Perth. We'll see if he actually goes number 1. Which I have happening in my mock draft, by the way. If they keep that pick, which I do think there's a legit possibility, this pick gets dealt. Why? Because there's no home run slam dunk pick at number 1. So what if the Hawks packaged Trae Young and the first overall pick to get an absolute all-NBA caliber player to add to DeJounte Murray and company, Jalen Johnson? But either way, you get Sarr, Johnson, and Murray in that big 3 of the future, potentially. Really good fit for the Hawks. Number 2, I'll go Zaccharie Risacher, the forward from JL Borg. Guy coming in from France, intriguing prospect. I think they just got to get a better front court mate alongside Kuzma. If he stays in Washington another offseason, him and Risacher could be the future 4-5 duo for DC. Stephon Castle, the first collegiate player here, going to the Rockets, who jumped from 9 to 3. Unfortunately for them, it's a bad draft to jump high into because there isn't that superb talent like there was a year ago. But you add Castle to a room of Amen Thompson, Sengun, Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green. Ime Udoka would love this pick. Castle is a winning basketball player. He does a lot of good things. He does the little things correctly, which Udoka, I know, adores and would be a terrific addition to this Houston team. The best fit in this draft is Nikola going to the San Antonio Spurs. They stay in striking distance of getting the talented guard from Serbia, 6'7", unbelievably high basketball IQ, probably the best passer in this draft as well. You finally pair up a true point guard with Victor Wembanyama. You also have an 8th pick to add a scorer potentially, a little kind of foreshadowing of where I'm going to go there in this mock draft, but I love the fit of Topic and the Spurs. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We were live for the NBA Draft Lottery. If you missed it and you weren't subscribed, that's okay. Just make sure you join us now because we're still going to be live for the NBA Draft, NBA Free Agency, and the NBA Finals. So hit that sub button. I'm Nic Rohloff. We'll have you covered. We have an excellent team here at Chat Sports covering the NBA. All right, rounding out my top 5, Rob Dillingham, the guard from Kentucky, heading over to the Detroit Pistons. They just need more talent. And even though I'm not the highest on Dillingham, I actually have him as my 9th ranked prospect. Might be 10. I got to recheck my rankings. Kind of forgot to be honest. I think this is a good fit, though, because they need scoring alongside Cade Cunningham. After taking Osar Thompson just a year ago, I do believe they need to go more offense. I did have Dillingham number 10 in my ranking. Shout out to producer Coop, by the way. And I think with Duran inside, you get a more of a scoring threat alongside Cade Cunningham. Be intriguing to see if they could play together in a starting backcourt, but at least Dillingham could be a 6-man off the bench. One of my guys, Buzelis, out of the G League Ignite, I think he's just terrific. And this is a perfect fit for him. My third overall player in this class. I think he would fit so nicely in between Mark Williams and Brandon Miller for Charlotte. You also have LaMelo Ball in that backcourt. That is a really nice young core they're developing in Charlotte. And if they could ever figure out the head coach situation and get that locked in, maybe they can actually start to build a winning culture because the talent is absolutely there. Donovan Clingan heading to Portland at pick number 7. That unbelievable trade package they got a year ago for Damian Lillard ends up not being too good. Robert Williams can never be on the court. So I think they look to add a center to pair up with the tank commander and tank legend, Jeremy Grant. I think this is a very good fit for Clingan and Portland. 7 more picks to talk about on today's mock draft, as we only are doing the top 14. But make sure you are getting started with the #1 daily fantasy sports app. That is Prize Picks. They're even offering you a first deposit match up to $100 when you download the app today and use code CLNS, or just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS. You can win up to 100 times your money right now with as little as 4 correct entries. And guess what as well, folks? They have daily specials and deals, and this one's a doozy. May 14th, they debut of Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. Yeah, she's playing the preseason, but this is the first regular season game. Just got to take more than on half a point for her. This is why I love playing Prize Picks on a daily basis, because they give you flash deals and specials like this one. Just pair up that Clark pick and entry with another selection. You could win up to 3 times your money. But like I said, if you go with 4, you can even win up to 100 times your money. The link will be in the description and comments, but just download the app and use code CLNS to get a first deposit match up to $100. All right, let's get to the second half of this lottery. Dalton Knecht, the forward from Tennessee, who is one of my guys. I would classify him as my number 2 guy in this draft. Not like overall, but like in Rolly's my guy, my number 2. You guys understand that. Buzelis and him. Knecht is just a flat-out scorer, man. 20 points per game for Tennessee last year for Rick Barnes. Shot over 40% from 3 on a lot of volume, too. Took 8 3-pointers a night. He would slide in so nicely. And if you did draft Nikola Topic, you have Victor Wembanyama. Now you slide in a scoring wing that can just shoot the lights out when they double Wemby and they have to slide in on a pick and roll, and Topic could throw it over the top of the defense to the opposite corner to connect, catch, and shoot. I'm seeing visions of a big 3 brewing in San Antonio. Number 9, Reed Sheppard, the freshman from Kentucky. Unfortunate that the Grizzlies, who had a very down season, end up with a 9th pick. It was projected to be 6. But I think Sheppard's a great fit for them. You get someone that I see a lot of Derek White in, where just does all the little things correctly, almost like Stephon Castle, but not as much as an athlete as Castle is. Sheppard shot over 50% from 3, not as much volume as Knecht, but was able to knock him down when it counts. Also averaged more than 2 steals a game for Kentucky and John Calipari at the time. Can't say that anymore. But Sheppard is going to be someone that could be a great bench option next to Marcus Smart, John Morant in that guard rotation for Memphis. Ron Holland, coming out of G League Ignite, I have going to Utah here at 10. Holland, very intriguing guy, superb athlete, great wing, knows how to score inside the 3-point arc. One issue, though, very struggling with his jump shot, I should say. Holland was in contention to be a top 3 pick coming into this draft cycle, but after the college season and more scouting, Holland fallen down in draft boards. We'll see where he ends up in late June. Cody Williams, the forward from Colorado, heading to the Bulls at number 11. Williams is someone who is intriguing. NBA blood in him with Jalen Williams for the Oklahoma City Thunder, the wing, not the center. Cody was very good, though, for Colorado last year. He can defend. He can shoot the 3 ball, shot over 40%. I just don't know if the volume is there for him. And we just didn't see enough of Cody, but the potential is there. And if he's able to unlock it, learn under DeRozan, if the Bulls bring him back, it'll be intriguing to see if he could form a nice little wing duo with Patrick Williams in Chi-Town. All right, 3 more picks to get to, but I want to know who you're repping, folks. Shout out your favorite NBA team for me down in the comments section. I'll be very intrigued. I got my eyes on it. I want to know who you guys are representing in the chat. All right, to finish out this mock draft, Kyle Filipowski, the forward and center from Duke, going to Thunder. I think this is a tremendous fit. And aforementioned Jalen Williams from Arkansas, the one with the Y, not the wing, from Santa Clara. I don't know if he's that good of a backup center. And as the Thunder look to take that next step, I think they could use some more size off the bench. Filipowski, to me, can be a Lauri Markkanen type. Not as athletic as Lauri was coming out of Arizona, but is a very good scorer inside, can also stretch the defense and knock down a catch-and-shoot three. I'd love to see his fit next to Chet Holmgren at times, but also see his fit coming off the bench for the Thunder. Jacoby Walter, this one honestly might have been the best fit in the entire thing outside of Nikola Topic because Walter could replace Malik Monk. Monk is expected to get a bag in free agency after a terrific season just a year ago and almost winning six. Did he win Sixth Man of the Year, Coop, 2 years ago? Yeah. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Malik Monk has been fantastic for Sacramento. They're likely going to lose him. He's going to get $20 million maybe in free agency by a team that really needs scoring help. Get Walter, who is a really good 3-and-D 2 guard, to replace that role off the bench. I think it's a match made in heaven for Sacramento. Rounding out this mock draft, Jared McCain, the guard from Duke. He is just so good on the defensive side of the floor, and he's also just has a silky smooth release from beyond the arc. There was a game where he had 8 or 9 threes for the Blue Devils on the road against Florida State this season. He also had a freshman record in a March Madness game for Duke for made threes. He can shoot it in transition, off the catch, off the dribble. He is going to make one team very, very happy with bringing him off the bench as a guard piece that is a 3-and-D guard. Really good addition here would be for Portland. All right, that's going to do it for today's mock draft. Make sure you follow me at Twitter at Nic_Rohloff. I kind of spearhead the draft coverage here at Chat Sports, so if you want more on these prospects and more in the scouting realm, make sure you give me a follow at Nic_Rohloff.